All right, so we've had a lot of people ask us about the schools here in Parrish. So we're going to talk about all of that today. We're going to talk about which schools are here, charter schools, school choice, and what new schools are coming. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Now, before we talk about the schools here in Parrish, you need to know the difference between a public school, a charter school, and a private school. So a public school here in Manatee County, the school is designated by your address. So depending on where you live, you will be zoned for a specific school. They also have certain state regulations, tests, and curriculum that they have to follow. A charter school, on the other hand, is not designated by your address. So it doesn't matter where you live, you can attend that school. You just have to apply, and if there's not enough seats, then it becomes a lottery system. On a charter school, you do have to remember that transportation, busing might not always be an option, so keep that in mind. You might have to drive your kids to school. The charter schools also have a little more leeway about their curriculum. Most of them tend to kind of pick an area of interest. Some do technology, STEM, the arts. They kind of have a specific focus that they work with. All right, so for private schools here in Parrish, there are a couple. There's a Christian school and another small religious school and a Montessori school. So we have three options, mostly serving the younger generation. But we do have more coming in. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Real quick, I did do a whole blog post on this. I'm going to put the link below so that you can reference that. It talks about all the schools that I'm going to talk to and also has the links to their sites. All right, so we're going to do the public schools first here in Parrish, and we will start with the elementary schools. So we've got Barbara Harvey, we've got Mills, we've got Williams, and we got Gunwit. Those are probably the names you've heard the most. While all of them are not technically in Parrish, they are serving the Parrish community. I've lived here for a while now, and I've never heard anything really bad about the elementary schools here. I think the parents are overall really happy with all of them. They tend to perform well. They have good student to teacher ratios, and they do have a lot of different little activities and clubs for the kids that age. All right, so now for the middle schools here in Parrish, we've got Buffalo Creek, which actually is technically in Palmetto, but it does serve Parrish. And then you have the new Barbara Harvey Upper Campus. So Buffalo Creek has been around for a while. It's got all the sports programs, it's got the fields, it's got all the music and the activities there. It's been set up for a while. Definitely there's mixed reviews online. I've seen them about that school. Some people have really great experiences and some people don't. But they do have a Cambridge program, so if you have a child that is gifted, you might want to get involved with that because that could be a really good opportunity for them. All right, then you've got Barbara Harvey, the Upper Campus, which was just created. Currently, this year it did 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then next year it's going to add 7th and 8th. So Barbara Harvey, again, just started. They're getting their gears together. They've got some sports programs going. They've got some clubs going. I do think in the next couple of years, you'll see some shifts there. It will start to function more like a full middle school. It's the beginning stages, so they're kind of just getting everything up and running. Definitely good reviews again on Barbara Harvey so far. It just started out the Upper Campus, so I feel like it's going to continue to do well, and we'll just kind of keep an eye out on that one. Now for the high school, the only high school here in Parrish is Parrish Community High. Again, I've heard nothing but really good reviews on the high school. They've got a lot of AP programs. They've got engineering, law, medical, what else? Oh, marketing. Just overall a really good school, and definitely haven't heard anything terrible or any problems that happen too much at the high school, other than, your typical stuff. All right, so charter schools. Again, remember, charter schools are not designated by your address. Some of the popular charter schools here in the Parrish area are Parrish Charter Academy, PCA, Parrish Charter Academy, and then you also have North River Academy, which just opened up. So PCA's K through 8 has been around a while, definitely has a good reputation. North River Academy, so far so good, a newer school, haven't heard anything bad about it yet, so we'll be watching that one as well. Alright, so what is coming to Parrish in terms of school? We've got Rye Ranch opening up in 2026-2027. I know people are super excited about that one coming. It's going to be a really good school. You've got Veterans School opening up as well the same time. That's technically in Palmetto, but still serving Parrish. You've got the private school, which is called Parrish Country School. That's going to be opening up. That's going to be over by Twin Rivers. We've got Bradyton Christian School opening up soon here in Parrish as well. That's going to be another school option for you. And we've got 2 other schools kind of off of Erie near Sawgrass. They don't have any names yet. They're in the works. We're not exactly sure, but those also might be coming. So you can see that these schools are being planned, growth is happening, and trying to get everybody situated and have a good student to teacher ratio here in Parrish. Alright, so now let's talk about school choice and what that means. I think a lot of people from out of state get a little bit confused by this, but here in Florida, you do not have to go to your designated zoned school. You have a choice. Basically, here in Manatee County, they do a controlled open enrollment. So there's a specific time period where you can request to go to a different school. You have to fill out a form. It's like an application, and see if you get in. If there's more seats and they're not available, then again, it's going to be like a lottery system. Also, you can't always count on the transportation, so you might have to drive your kid. So just in general, it doesn't really matter where you live. You always have a choice of what school you want your child to go to. All right, guys, so you can tell that you have a lot of choices when it comes to schools here in Parrish. You got the public, you got the charter. We're going to get the private real soon, and then you have school choice as well on top of all of that. If you guys have any questions, let us know. It's Amy and Tom with Keys to the Coast Real Estate. I hope you found that useful. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.